Hello everybody, and just here, and welcome back to Takt of Destiny. I can see that the first frame of this episode is already the OP, so that's how you can tell that right after the OP ends, we're gonna get into some action. Because, yeah, the last episode ended up on a little bit of a cliffhanger. Well, not in like a little bit, it very much did end on a cliffhanger, and I'm gonna lock exposure so that it doesn't flash constantly. Okay, sorry for that. Yeah, last episode ended on a huge cliffhanger. Cliffhanger that I did not expect. I really did not expect the main villain, or at least as far as we are aware, the main villain of the series to just reveal himself just like that in episode 7 midway through the season. But yeah, that's exactly what happened, and I'm left wondering, how is it gonna go? I don't know, to be perfectly honest with you. It's just Earl Grey with a slice of lemon. I have no clue how it's gonna go. Either Tact gets defeated and someone rescues him on the verge of death, perhaps Lenny and Titan, and Schindler runs back to Symphonica, whining about how Takt hit him, and look, this broken arm, Takt did it, he's evil, I told you. That's certainly one way it can go, and Takt and Destiny and Anna will become fugitives, and we're gonna take the last, maybe not all 4, but like 3 episodes, or maybe 2 episodes of them going to Symphonica to explain those things and expose Schindler. Or Takt is gonna win against Schindler for some bullshit reason. Because let's be honest here, the way Takt and Destiny are right now, I don't think they have a fighting chance, to be perfectly honest. Perhaps if their bond was the same as other conductors in their Musicart, where the conductor doesn't seem affected by anything the Musicart does. Then maybe with how much firepower Destiny has, she could reasonably just wipe out all the D2s and then quickly focus on Schindler and Hell. But every time Destiny attacks, it spreads the corruption. We don't really know what it is quite yet, so I'm just gonna call it corruption. It spreads the corruption across Takt's body for some reason. Perhaps somehow in the heat of the moment they will get rid of this limitation. Some kind of a, I don't know, second henshin or full synchronization or something like that. That other conductors already have with their Musicart, because it's part of the process of the, like, normalized process that every conductor and every Musicart goes through. But Takt and Destiny never did that one specific thing that makes them fully synchronized and helps the stop of the corruption. Something along those lines, maybe. And that's my suspicion, because it was mentioned and quite heavily emphasized in previous episode. The Takt's music, the music that he wrote. Perhaps he will decide that he wants to write that music for Destiny, and will, I don't know, laying on the ground defeated, is gonna hum it in his head and tap it on the ground, and that will somehow empower Destiny or something like that. Because it turns out that every Musicart has music created by their uh, conductor in them, and that's what binds them. I have no clue. It can be anything. It can be anything, honestly. So I don't think I should speculate anymore. I think we should just watch the episode and see. That will be the best course of action. So let's give you some subs. Let's give me some headphones. Oh, fuck. My mouse flies off. It's blasting up again. Okay, there's the focus. Oh boy. I don't know what to expect. I mean, I am low-key expecting some sort of second tension, some full synchronization kind of thing. I think my bets are on that, and we're gonna see how good I am at betting. Episode 8 of Takt of Destiny, version by Subs, please, is gonna be starting in 3, 2, 1, now. Yep, starting with the OP. Also, Cosette is still very heavily featured in the OP. Perhaps she will play some role? Cosette will awaken within Destiny, and they will merge, and their connected power is gonna win. I don't know. I don't know. This series has gone against my expectations so many times that I'm kind of apprehensive when it comes to thinking of what's gonna happen next because I've no clue. After Schindler revealed himself as the villain in episode 7, I can't really speculate about anything. But we will do more speculations after the reaction segment of this video ends, because I always spend some time after the reaction to discuss what happened in the video. So if you're down for that, stick around. Or if you're watching a mashup, go and watch the full video. And we're right back where we left off. Okay. Whoa! I did not expect Takt himself to run in. Did he borrow a part of Destiny's power somehow? Through the baton? Through their connection via the arm? Schindler is afraid. Okay, interesting. And Takt is not a Musicart. He cannot just fight as much as he wants to fight. He can't. He's just a human. Empowered a little bit through their bond, but a human nonetheless. He might have a superhuman fighting power, speed and strength, but his body is very much frail. You think you have power over hell? Okay, so we're seeing a little bit of a break here. The bond of Schindler and Hell isn't quite as strong, it would seem. Could it be that the bond of tact and destiny is stronger than usual. And here's Lenny and Titan. How can you tell? And she's dehensioned. Cosette's name. Could them winning have something to do with Cosette after all? I wonder. Or is it a callback to the previous episode when Destiny talked about how he never calls her name? Could that be it? Could the name? Could the name have something to do here? I think it might be significant that he doesn't call her Destiny. Chekhov's gun in the previous episode? I wonder. Could Takt's music be just a red herring here? Or something left for the ending? And the real thing that's missing from them achieving full synchronization, or whatever you want to call it, is the name. And he hates music. Could it be why his bond with Hell isn't as strong? I think that could be it. Takt's unparalleled love for music gives him some sort of an edge here? Well, who else? Hmm, a bit of self-loathing? Takt calling her useless Musicart getting to her? Okay, so here's Destiny's Bond. By the end of the season, you will. Okay, we're having a little bit of heart to heart. That's good for Destiny to understand. But then you bonded. Yeah, you found everybody annoying. Exactly. Only music mattered to you. But music might. And that's when Schindler attacked. I love the music in the background. Hmm. How do you know about that, though? How do you know that a person summoned D2s? The name is significant after all. Yep, the name is significant. Destiny is gonna get a power up as soon as Takt calls her by her name, calling it now. And risk your life doing so. I mean, suit yourself, but. Ah, no. She just wants Lenny to bring her. She doesn't actually want to go with them. Okay, that's much more reasonable than I thought. No, it's the fault of you guys not being fully synchronized. That's my bet. Conductors and musicarts usually do something that fully synchronizes them, that prevents that corruption. Tact and Destiny didn't do anything like that because they weren't, they didn't go through the proper channels, so to speak, and she just grabs a couple of axes. Okay, okay. I like your Moxie. And I already know that people will try to pull Hell as soon as she becomes available in the gacha. Of course, Tact will follow Destiny, and he's gonna call her name, and they're gonna henshin. Damn the animation here. You do need to be henshined after all. For someone that hasn't transformed, you're plenty good, but you stand no chance against hell. And the music. Damn the music. Now Takt comes running in screaming Destiny, and that gives her strength. They achieve full synchronization, and they defeat Schindler and Hell. True, but he is, and he needs to deal with that. Yeah. Call her name. Call her name, my dude. Titan and Lenny. Shoot Schindler. Don't focus on Hell. She has. Her defense is too good. Kill Schindler, and I'm sure it will impact Hell somehow. Do you need my song? There's the name. And they just casually swinging their batons, talking. Could it be that Symphonica is aware that Schindler is a traitor? Nice. But I still believe you should have gone after Schindler. she becomes corrupted somehow. Her right arm looks the same as the right arm of Takt. Oh, heaven! You're relieved of your duty. Yep. Okay. So Symphonica was aware of that. That's why he doesn't have the bond with Hell? Or is it Symphonica altogether that's evil? Not summoning D2s. Summoning D2s wasn't an issue. Coming in contact with Tact was. Interesting. Is Symphonica evil altogether after all? You're clearly not. And he's gone. Just put him out of his misery. Interesting development. Interesting development. No, still use Onechan. Hmm. Something wrong with his right arm? Something wrong with his right arm. And I don't mean just the corruption. Perhaps the corruption actually starts affecting his usage, the usability of his right arm. In any case, I guess I was right on my little note. Symphonica used D2s to gain power. It wasn't just Schindler acting in secret, secretly figuring out that Hell has the power to summon D2s. Looks like even the High Command is aware of Hell's powers. I have no clue. I genuinely have no clue what to think of it. Like, I can make some guesses. Just as I thought I know how it's gonna go, they're dropping this episode. And now I know that I know nothing. Fuck me. OP, 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 OP. Ah. Takt runs in, almost hits Schindler. So we know that Takt gained some super speed, super strength, something of the sort. Probably thanks to his connection with Destiny, with Unmei. Yep, that smear on his head. I love the smear frames in this anime. There's so many of them. And a little bit of sliding PNGs, although not quite. Uh, yeah, what were those moves? Now, question is, does Takt have those moves because he's special even among conductors? Or does Takt have, or is Schindler surprised at those moves because he is not a conductor? Schindler is not a conductor, and he doesn't know that all conductors gain this kind of strength, this kind of power. Could be either or. I'm not sure. And of course, carve them up. Missed opportunity to say give them hell, but I'll take it. And she runs in, kicks those energy blades at them. That's such a unique fighting style. Destiny is panicked a little bit. But she can barely, just about barely deflect those attacks. Schindler is afraid. Doesn't know what to think. Why didn't you go after them? Because you apparently have no power over hell. That's interesting. What was Schindler's role then? What exactly was his role? Was he supposed to be a scapegoat? Was he supposed to be a scapegoat? After Symphonica completed their plans, their scheming with summoning D2s and attacking people, was their end goal to use Schindler as a scapegoat? He was the one behind all those attacks. He ordered Hell against her will, to attack all those settlements and summon all those D2s. We caught the traitor and we are going to punish him. We are the good guys. We at Symphonica are the good guys. It was just Schindler who was the odd one out. I forgot the proper term, but yeah, essentially the odd one out, I guess. Not black swan. You know what I mean. He was the one behind those attacks. We are the good guys. We captured Schindler. We ended his plans. Trust us, believe us. We will keep you safe. That has to have been it. That has to have been it. Anna wants to go after them. Lenny and Titan arrive. They got orders to come here from someone. Who was that someone, though? high command of Symphonica? That would be the obvious answer here. Perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. I can't be sure of anything anymore, honestly. Okay, yeah, that's a bit better exposure. Can't be sure of anything anymore. And he calls her Cosette. So it was, although the name didn't give her power, or maybe it did, but it wasn't in a flashy way. Like Takt speaking out her name, and camera suddenly, zooms out and spins around, zooms in onto Destiny, and Destiny gets powered up. Her eyes glow, Takt's eyes glow, and he gets an ephemeral right arm, or something. And he becomes part Musicart as well because they achieved full synchronization. The name was significant as a character moment, not as a power up, but it was significant nonetheless. Still called her Cosette? Oh no, he wasn't able to drink water. And of course, water mouth to mouth. There you are, Cosette. And she isn't happy about being called Cosette, but she soldiers through it. Anything to help Takt. Leonard has nothing to worry about. She hums and is ordered to stop that. The great head commander hates music. Perhaps that's why he was unable to become a full conductor. Since Musicarts are music incarnate, you need to love music. You need music to be a part of you to be able to be a good conductor. That's perhaps what gives Tact and Destiny their power. Tact's absolute devotion to music. That's what gives them strength. And since Schindler doesn't have that devotion, Schindler hates music, he could not become a conductor. But that raises a question. If Schindler is not a conductor, and we know from the example of Valkyr that music arts without conductors are weaker and get tired quickly, what makes Hell an exception here? Is someone else her actual conductor? The High Commander, what's his face? What was his name? Sagan. Yeah? We know that a conductor can have multiple music cards because it was insinuated that Takt could also become a conductor of Valkyr. Perhaps Sagan is the conductor of both heaven and hell, and only lends hell to Schindler without Schindler actually knowing that she's being lent to him. Schindler all this time was under the impression that he is an actual conductor and that he bonded with Hell, that Hell is his music art, but it was all a ruse by Sagan. I think that might be it. Schindler was used. Now, don't get me wrong, it doesn't excuse his villainy, but he's not the main villain here after all. He was just a pawn. He was just a pawn to whoever is the mastermind here, and I have reasons to believe that the mastermind is Sagan. It's judged through something as indecisive and worthless as emotion. Okay, of course, he has a messiah complex. And we have a nice bonding moment. Song isn't finished yet. And they talk about Cosette, the exact thing that Destiny wanted to talk about in the previous episode. And yeah, Takt devoted all his life to music. He thought that only music matters. But Cosette got him out of that shell. And all the people around him, Cosette made him realize that people around him were waiting for his music. That he didn't realize that he was playing for himself only, but there was a whole world waiting for it. Yeah, he connected, and now she's gone. And she was the only person that he would consider writing music for, but now she's gone. So writing a song is pointless. Because Destiny believes in him. Person summon the D2s. What's Symphonica's deal here? Things are. I don't want to say they're not making any sense, but they are far off from my expectations. Lenny knows that a person summoned the D2s. If Sagan gave orders to Lenny that he should go there because a person summoned the D2s and Takt needs rescuing, but at the end, Heaven said that everything should be kept in secret. I've no clue. I've no clue. Like, the only thing that I think is happening is that it is Symphonica who wants to summon the D2s, and Schindler was supposed to be a scapegoat. But why send Lenny? Why not just straight away send Heaven like Sagan did anyway? He sent Heaven to strip Schindler of his, privileges as a member of Symphonica, strip him of his role. Why send Lenny and Titan and expose the secret of Hell being able to summon the D2s if they could have just sent Heaven with a message to Schindler and Hell? What was Lenny's role here? Is he perhaps to serve as a mentor to Takt and try to get him on board with whatever it is that Symphonica is planning? But no, at the end, it seemed like Lenny is very much not on board with whatever Symphonica is planning. Could it be a third party that sent Lenny here? Some non-governmental organization that also has conductors and Musicart. You know what? I just realized something. I just randomly realized something. The timeline of this world. D2s appeared after the blue meteorites that create Musicart appeared. Could it be that either D2s weren't in those black meteorites, it was hell that was already created by them that was summoning them? Or could it be that hell was actually created out of the black meteorite, not the blue meteorite? Maybe. Just food for thought. I can't be sure. And of course, she wants to call her destiny properly. It's all my fault because I'm sucking your life away. The corruption isn't going away. That's an interesting tidbit. It's going away from his face, but his arm, curiously enough, not his entire arm, despite him losing that entire arm. So I'd expect the whole thing to be made of this corrupted flesh, but apparently not. Perhaps it's growing with each henshin, or the corruption spreads and then recedes, but always recedes less than it spread. I think that might be something along those lines. I don't think it's the details of this corruption are particularly significant. It's just the fact of its existence. And Destiny, the complete badass she is, she just walks in, dual wielding axes. Yeah, grabs an axe, grabs some cleaver, like it's nothing. Hell is completely deranged. We know that. We knew that already. That's a nice frame. It's just a single frame to her hand. And this little impact frame. Everything goes black, just the yellow stripe of impact. And that stripe turns out to be Hell's hood. Another set of amazing smears. Just look at that. It's like something out of Looney Tunes. Look at those smears. Just look at them. Holy shit. This is straight out of Kill La Kill. This frame, straight out of Kill La Kill. Absolutely, absolutely gorgeous, absolutely amazing. I am in awe at the animation of this series, honestly. The music and the animation. But it's a collaboration of Mappa and come on, Madhouse. I forgot the name. It's a collab of Mappa and Madhouse, so of course the animation will be great until the second season. If there's ever a second season of Takt of Destiny, expect it to be half CG, half sliding PNGs, because that's how Mappa and Madhouse roll. And of course, Destiny loses. She's destined to lose, you could say, because it fits the narrative. And yeah, he just liked the music. Conductor and Musicart use sound as their power. That's why Schindler is so powerless. Sounds to me like he's perfect for the battlefield. He is. He actually is perfect for the battlefield. Perhaps that's why Sagan has so much interest in him, as potentially the strongest conductor. I think I might be onto something. Of course, Takt comes in, like the badass he is. and they're bickering, and Schindler can't stomach them bickering because, well, me, Schindler, I'm standing here challenging you, and you pay me no mind. How dare you? That's just his personality. This face is gonna be memed. At least I hope it's gonna be memed. And Titan Gakita. And Titan is serious. She's not her usual bubbly self. She's cold, stone-faced, reloads her pump action, and goes to town. Yeah, do you want to hear my song? That's the bonding moment. And the name, Destiny. I have expected in this scene, in this shot, for some pink and purple particles to start rising from the screen, or like red particles or something, and Destiny being lifted into the air in a T pose and emerging from that in a full white dress in her full synchronization form or whatever. But no, nothing like that happened. It was just a nice moment of bonding, of two people bonding. Take as much of my life as you need. And other examples of great animation. And they're just talking as if nothing's happening. Yep, the animation is great. You arrive like some sort of hero, but you're in a wretched state. Is he now? You've always been like that. You abandoned your duty as a Symphonica conductor. That line is what made me wonder if Lenny is maybe under the orders of some third party, of some underground coalition of conductors who recognized that Symphonica is evil and are actively going against it. I think that might be the case. I wonder. I'm in charge of the opening act. It's no fun if the villain's defeated too early. Takt is here, all corrupted. And now Destiny goes to town. Her hair glows. Notice. I don't think her hair was glowing before. I'm not entirely sure. Rose petals she leaves behind her. That's a cool effect. And other examples of just great animation, great choreography, great smears. After image. Yeah, now we're adding after images to the smears. That's some amazing stuff. Schindler is fucking scared. He's pissing his pants right now. Let your music play, and here's probably the biggest, the strongest attack that Destiny fired to date. And looks like it got Hell's arm. It didn't get Hell, just her arm. Why does he have such strength? Because of his love for music. Calling it right now. The stronger your love for music, the stronger you are as a conductor, and thus the stronger your Musicart is. Yep, that has to be the case. And notice how her arm is burned or corrupted. It looks very much like Takt's corruption. Could Destiny's power have something to do with that? Could Destiny have been sealed in that crystal that Cosette had for a reason? Because her power corrupts things in some way. I've no clue. I've no clue. And it's heaven. And here I was, thinking, okay, so Sagan knew of the whole shebang. He just wanted Schindler to act on it. He wanted to get more dirt on Schindler so that he can strip him of his power. You have been ordered not to concern yourself with Takt Asahina. I will relay the Grand Maestro's message. Stripped of all your authority within Symphonica. You were never a conductor in the first place. That made me think that perhaps Schindler didn't bond with Hell actually, but just got her as a defective Musicart or something of the sort. And that's where all his complexes come from. He couldn't manage to be a full conductor. But then there's this scene of Hell just taking his baton and breaking it. Goodbye, former head commander. And that completely made me 180 on my opinion here, on my thoughts. Because I thought it's Sagan stepping up, going against, going to deal with Schindler, with Hell, fixing things. But no. No. Sagan's problem was only with Schindler. And not even with him summoning D2s. His problem was with Schindler interfering with Takt. So Symphonica knew all this time that Hell can summon D2s. Perhaps Schindler was acting on Symphony, although no. I think Schindler thought it's a secret that Hell can summon the D2s, but it wasn't a secret because Hell is really Sagan's Musicart. Perhaps Schindler was specifically selected as the one with the most villainous tendencies to be the villain for Symphonica. This is to remain top secret. Yeah, which parts? Which parts are supposed to remain a secret? The fact that Schindler was never a conductor? The fact that Hell can summon the twos? The fact that Symphonica is aware that Hell can summon the twos? The fact that Symphonica is aware of Hell having summoned D2s before and having attacked cities? Which part is supposed to be a secret? Yeah, the only rule he broke was interacting with Takt. And Schindler has no affiliation with us. And yeah, Hell was also ordered to not interact with Takt. I'm kinda struggling to find Symphonica's motivations here. I know that I said, and I even still have this little post-it note here with Symphonica use D2s to gain power. That's like the only the only explanation I can find that Schindler was supposed to be the scapegoat for Symphonica because Symphonica needed enemies to remain in power. If the twos were to disappear one day, Symphonica would no longer be necessary. That's like the only explanation I can find, but I don't know how well it sits with me. This seems much more complex. This is some 4D chess we're seeing right here, I swear. This is some 4D chess. And Schindler is gone. We have returned. I was trying to ignore you, to ignore who you really are. Let me call you Destiny. And now Nechan. I'm going to move forward. And there's this twitch in his corrupted arm. Is Takt slowly losing control over his arm somehow? And he eventually ends up being unable to play music. That could be a plot point. Although I was thinking that, initially at least, okay, let's maybe do this. Yeah, sure. I don't need the headphones anymore. I was thinking initially, at least, that there's gonna be a choice for Takt near the end, whether he wants to give up his arm to fix Destiny, to stabilize her, or even to bring back Cosette, or he can keep the arm and keep playing music. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think it's more of a case of the corruption that they cannot help, as far as we know, spreading and slowly affecting his body, starting from his arm. Him losing the ability to play music will be a plot point. That much I am nearly certain of. Perhaps there's gonna be a moment near the end of the season where Tact can either use Destiny's power and spread the corruption further. They're gonna fight the big bad, like, I don't know, either some great D2s that's the source of all D2s, or they're gonna fight against Sagan and Hell and Heaven, and Destiny will have to use like big boom super attack. But Tact was told before that if he ever strains himself even more, if Destiny uses even more of his power, then he will completely lose control of his right arm and will never be able to play. And that will be his dilemma. Does he want to let Destiny go all out and defeat their enemies and never be able to use his right arm again? Or does he value music more? And I think this will be a moment when he realizes that as much as he does value music, there are things out there that are more precious than that. And perhaps it's not gonna be him that plays his song, as I have it on my post-it note that in episode 12, Takt plays his song during the ED. Perhaps it's not gonna be Takt. It's gonna be Destiny who plays it. Or Cosette. Or he's gonna play part of it with his left arm, and Destiny is gonna play it with her both hands. It's gonna be a 3-hand music piece. I still don't know what the end game of the season is gonna be. We have 4 episodes left because it's 12 episodes, or is it 13? Is it 12 or is it 13? Come on. There is no data about it. Just that the duration is 23 minutes and it airs from October 6, 2021 to question mark. Okay, Annalist maybe. Mm. Maybe Annalist will answer my question. How many episodes? No. There is no info about the number of episodes on the Annalist either. Interesting. Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. No, there is end date of December 22nd. So that would mean 12 episodes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But no. No. I'm not calculating it right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 episodes. Yeah. I wonder what's gonna happen. I have no clue. I have no clue. Is Sagan gonna turn out to be the main villain here? Is Sagan actually a good guy and he's summoning Ditus for some reason? Is he perhaps unaware that Hell can summon the Ditus after all? Is it Heaven scheming behind the back of Sagan? Is there actually some resistance that Lenny is a part of that goes against Symphonica? Is Symphonica the good guys? Is Symphonica the bad guys? What's gonna be the final fight of this season? What's gonna happen with Cosette? What's gonna happen with Takt? What's the deal with the corruption? I don't know. I know nothing. I'm completely at a loss. I'm completely at a loss. We'll have to wait for the next episode. And I'm gonna be waiting with bated breath because I need to know what happens. Hopefully, now that Lenny and Titan are with us, Lenny and Titan know some details. They seem to be very much in the know. And we're gonna get an exposition dump. I never like exposition dumps, but in this particular case, dump it all on me because I need to know what's going on. I need to know what's going on because holy hell, I did not expect this anime to be so complex, to baffle me so. Usually when an anime is an ad for a game and is just made for pretty visuals and cool music, it doesn't really have much complexity. And here we have so much complexity. We really have some 4D chess kind of bullshit going on. Some might even think there's too much complexity here. But I like it. I like to speculate. I like to think what's gonna happen in the next episode and never be quite sure. I like what they're going on for. I like what they're going for here. And I cannot wait for the next week. And I hope next week you are all gonna be with me and we're gonna watch this episode together and figure some things out. But until that time comes, like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you still can, and if you disliked it, but tell me down in the comments why did you dislike it so I can improve. comment, leave a comment down below. Anyway, what you thought of this episode, what you thought of my reaction. What are your thoughts about how it's gonna go? What's the end game here? Is Sagan the bad guy? Am I correct in thinking that Schindler was planned to be a scapegoat? I didn't talk about one more thing. Why is Takt so important to Sagan? Perhaps because he's like the strongest conductor, or something to do with his father that had something to do with the Boston Massacre. That has to be it. That has something about Tact is special, and something about Destiny is special. That much I'm sure of, but I've no clue what's so special about them. So I don't wanna prolong this episode anymore because I've already been rambling for an hour and 11 minutes. So as I said, like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, comment down below what are your opinions, what are your thoughts, how do you think it's gonna go. There is no source material, I don't think, so I don't risk running into any spoilers in the comments. Hopefully, if there is a source material and you did go through it and you have some spoilers, please don't. Please don't. I want to know what's going on. I want to learn it by myself by watching this series. Subscribe if you want to be notified of my future releases. I'm not only watching Takt of Destiny, but also Princess Principal, Sai no Paladin, and Tsukito Lakato Nosferatu. If you really like what I'm doing, you can support me on Patreon. Link is down in the description. And yeah, that's it. My head is scrambled. I don't know what to think. That was a very awkward outro. So, as always, do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you guys the next one. Cheers. And here's the list of the patrons. And you can join them from just $1 a month. It doesn't need to be $10.